What is going on, YouTube? Crypto for Change here. My name is David, and we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, CEO Lee Parsons, yes, and Fernando Cruz with us today, guys. And we're going to be talking all things Opulous. If you have been following along with my YouTube channel, if you've been following me on Twitter, if you've been following Lee on Twitter, you definitely know what Opulous is. And you should know what Opulous is because it is going to be making waves in the Algorand DeFi ecosystem throughout 2022. So we're going to be breaking down just some of the key topics and buzz questions that a lot of people are wanting answered out in the community. And we're going to cover those today. So strap in and let's jump right into it. So guys, thanks for coming on the channel.
Yeah, no worries, man. Like we said before, you've always supported us. So it was just a matter of time. We just wanted to make sure we had some news coming up, and now we do. So we're here, and it's Fernando's first time meeting the public.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to be here and to show some more information for all the Algorand community, which we love to be part of.
Obviously, Opulous, you guys are you're marketing these S-NFTs, which are security NFTs for those who maybe do not know, or of artists' music. So you're able to invest in their music, and then as the song is played, the investors are able to earn royalties. I do know that I was one of the early investors in the Lil Pump and Soulja Boy song. So that was really exciting, super cool to be a part of that whole process and how you guys rolled that out. And I know one of the questions, and it was even on, there on the Twitter is, when will people who invested maybe in that one or the one with Big Zoo? And I know you guys are about to launch another S-NFT. You have that going in the pipeline right now. What's it going to look like as far as royalties being paid out, your all's platform releasing? Kind of talk some of those things through, because I know that's what a lot of people have questions about in the Algorand community.
So Fernando's going to answer this, and just take them through the whole process of why it took a while, what all the legal structure was and paying everything out.
Yeah, so first we got to keep the sale open for 3 weeks because of the regulation that we're coming into, which is the Reg CF of regulation and the securities for crowdfunding. So we got to keep the sale open for 3 weeks. And then the platform that is a partner with us, in the first case, Republic, and now we're selling together with WeFunder, which is another crowdfunding platform. So they need to wrap up all the information just after the sale to send to us to register all the securities. And that process through Republic took us another 2 months to get all the information. At the same time, we started engaging with Securitize, which is a platform that can actually issue the security. They're a transfer agent. So they keep the books of all the buyers. And whenever there's a transfer in the future, they are responsible for keeping this information and updating it. So we started engaging with Securitize beginning of January, just after we concluded the Lil Pump sale. And we had to go through lots of documents to send to them to get audited, approved, everything. And right now we are at the end of this process. So right now, the only step that we're missing to distribute the Lil Pump tokens is that because some of the users haven't sent their right Algorand wallets and some others haven't sent their tax IDs to Republic. So this week we're sending out information to all the users for them to come to our portal to give the rest of the information, and then we'll be able to issue all these tokens, which are securities, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, which coincides to a royalty payment. So the first track that we done, Lil Pump, that was released at the end of January, takes 3 months for us to start getting paid from Spotify and all the digital stores. So it will be at the same time that our royalty platform will be ready for us to start paying royalties. So our plan to, at the end of this month, is to send all the S-NFTs for the Lil Pump and actually start sending the royalties back to the investors. So as we've gone through all this process already, the next ones will be much easier and faster. So at least we'll need to keep the sale open for 3 weeks, but we plan to send the tokens at a max of 2 months after the sale is done to all the users and started paying the royalties as soon as possible to anyone.
It's so important to us to do everything correctly, and I don't want to have, we haven't made any mistakes in this. And you're talking about the SEC, a security token, you're talking about paying people the security. So the reason this took so long is that reason. But as Fernando said, the best thing is now we have the processes in place, it's going to be a lot faster next time, because obviously we have, more sales coming up now.
So let's talk also about, because I know, with that, and with also the people who invested early, they're going to be getting the NFTs, the art NFTs. I think it was with the Little Pump, and also with the Art Ends, the guy that you guys are putting out right now. What will a secondary marketplace, like, have you guys figured out what that secondary marketplace is really going to look like on Opulous as far as selling these S-NFTs? Will that be a liquid market, an illiquid? Like, how will that look like? Once these NFTs are in people's wallets, the platform's up and running, and things like that.
So as they are securities, those S-NFTs, we need to work together with initially some partners like Securitize that make it able for us to trade those tokens.
Okay.
Because we need a broker-dealer license to be able to actually trade those tokens between the buyer and the seller. So we're establishing a partnership with Securitize that they will offer us the backend for us to build the securities exchange. So initially, we'll be working together with them, and they will be facilitating those trades on our platform. At the same time, we are looking for our own licenses to be able to run the whole process on a platform. So as the first tokens that we're selling are actually under this Reg CF license, those can only be traded after 12 months since the first issuance. So in 12 months from the first issuance, we're planning to open this S-NFT security exchange on the Opulous website, where people will be able to trade those tokens. On the artwork NFT side, people will be able to trade them straight away. They'll be minted on Algorand, so they can be traded on any Algorand marketplace. But we're also working together with another company called XP Network, and they have an NFT bridge. So people will be able to bridge those tokens to other chains and possibly sell them on OpenSea or Rarible or other NFT marketplace they want to.
And kind of going along with that, with seeing the utility there in the S-NFTs and the art NFTs, once, those do come to the wallets. I know another question that was on the Twitter that some people were wanting to know is, the utility for the Opulous token. I know that, some of the utility I'm pretty sure most people are aware, but I want to hear straight from you guys, what do you guys plan for the utility of the Opulous token moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I get this question so much. Not usually, it's usually
right. I'm asking it because I know I'll get hit.
I was going to say it's good to answer this now, because if anyone asks me, I'm just going to give them this link to just shut up.
Right.
Get to a point. So look, we're building a whole ecosystem, right? So our whole vision, when we even put Opulous down, was a marketplace where you can use. So for example, the first thing we're launching is our NFT marketplace, right? So not the S-NFT marketplace, the NFT marketplace. So when we do the Tiger sale, it's very likely that we'll have an artwork drop before the Tiger sale comes out, and you will be able to buy different stages of the NFT. They will come with all of the perks, and that is traded solely in Opulous. We're building an option in the website so people can just buy Opulous on the credit card. You're talking about, hundreds of thousands of dollars of NFTs solely bought using Opulous. That's one part of it. We're also, as Fernando said, we're building an exchange, which will be like a Binance kind of exchange for, regulated tokens. That will also obviously run with Opulous. We're building a DeFi system where, if you look at something like a Nexus platform, where if you stake a certain percentage of Opulous, you get bigger yields. So, what we're doing at Opulous isn't dissimilar to a lot of other projects out there, and they all have that kind of similar utility where it's all governed by a token. And, we want to make the token as useful as possible, and that's why we're consistently working at that part. And I'd say for the last probably 3 months, when it was a bit quieter, publicly, that was one of the things we've been working on. Then we hired Mark, who's our new CTO, and he's also been helping with that. Did I miss anything out?
The pre-sales.
And the pre-sales, obviously. So, and we're launching our own platform, probably next month, right?
Yeah.
Where they can actually stake their Opulous tokens, and those Opulous tokens will then obviously be able to get people into the pre-sales for the S-NFTs, and eventually the S-NFTs will be on our own website, which is also the plan, and those will also be bought just using Opulous. So I think, honestly, if people understood or just looked at what we're actually doing with the project, it's quite easy to kind of imagine how the token can be used. in that respect as well.
Another question that, I think some of the people on Twitter were asking it, but also is just one that I want to have answered. Say, obviously we've seen the big artists, Lil Pump, Soulja Boy, Tyga. Obviously these are great. These bring in, especially in the crypto space, they bring in a lot of eyes, a lot of attention to the project, and really help it get its feet off the ground and running. But what will the process, once you guys launch the platform, what will that look like for someone who's maybe, a lesser known artist, or someone who's starting out and wants to, offer their fans the ability to invest, kind of like you see with the NFT marketplace, where artists can kind of just start up from maybe nothing. They have a community that wants to back them, and then they can kind of almost make a living for themselves. So how would that look like for, an aspiring artist or someone who's maybe not mainstream to use Opulous, to further their career?
And that is the vision, and I'll let you answer it.
Yeah, our vision is to actually offer the same products that we're offering to big artists to small and medium level artists, because those are the artists that actually need the funding, right? So they need to invest in their careers. They need to create a new music video. They need to hire studio sessions. They need to go and promote their music. So these are the artists that need the money. And those are the artists that we're targeting to offer those sales in the future. Right now, the structure that we're using is kind of hard for us to offer to smaller artists because there are some high legal costs involved. So what we're working on is to get another license called Reggae. So we can offer a great variety of sales for a much smaller cost in general for the artist. So this way we'll be able to offer the same kind of service that we're offering now to those smaller artists. And we're also exploring some other ideas that we're not allowed to talk yet, but this will definitely facilitate the sales for smaller artists.
Yeah, man, because I run Ditto, right? So I was a musician. I only started Ditto because I was trying to put my own music out. So my whole life, just like Fernando's, has been in the independent music scene. The independent music industry was about 7% when I started Ditto, and I think it's 60 now. And there's another question that I just saw on Twitter I just want to quickly answer. I remember someone saying, when are we going to get some different genres of music out?
Yeah.
Which I understand as well. So I'm just going to explain. Firstly, we actually, the next 2 drops after this are different genres. We have a really amazing female artist coming through. We have another dance artist. The problem with the music industry, the way the genres work, is you're going to find a lot more unsigned independent acts in the rap genre. You don't find many Adeles or obviously that would be quite a big one to land, but I mean, I just meant that kind of genre. You don't see a lot of big singer-songwriters that are actually solo. A lot of them have label deals. So with Opulous, when we're working with an artist, we're looking for the independent ones because of the contracts, and we're actually selling a piece of their copyright. You'll find that the rap music, they're churning out more music, and a lot of them aren't tied to record deals. But again, it's all something, as Fernando said, the long-term vision is to be able to allow any artist to go to Opulous. Because as an investor as well, that's what you want, right? You want to, It's like investing in an altcoin and just sitting on it and watching that artist grow and supporting them. And that's the whole, purpose of what Opulous does. But as you said before as well, it's also great to have these big names in at the beginning, because it just shows, we're trying to show the system works, right? At the beginning.
And kind of going along with that, so far with the S-NFTs you guys have launched, and, I guess having that data of, playbacks and things like that, how would you guys rate the success of like the Big Zoo and, Lil Pump, and then obviously leading up to the next one? How would you guys rate your all success so far with those releases?
Yeah, man. I mean, we definitely show what was possible, right? I mean, it was Lil Pump's biggest song on his Spotify he's had for a long time. And like I said the other day, it wasn't Bohemian Rhapsody. It was like, I think there was a lot of people didn't love the song, but a lot of people, if you're making money from a song, trust me, you're going to like it a lot more. After working in the industry for 10 years, my playlist is always made up of stuff that I'm working on, I'm invested in. So what it did show you is that people who are heavily, investing in a product are going to go and stream it a lot more, because those Little Pump streams are massive. We also engaged Ditto to help. I got as much help as I could off Spotify and all the stores to get us on all the biggest playlists. So that was really cemented everything, because you still gotta get that backing too. But I think fans and investors, and putting those two together, you're seeing a whole new paradigm of what's possible.
More of a basic question going back. I know you've voiced some concerns on Twitter and the like, but one, why did you choose Algorand, obviously, to build your all's project Opulous? And what have been some of the pros, cons, and pitfalls and things like that so far with your all's experience?
I guess I'll have to answer that, but if you want to chime in about how it's been working with Algorand afterwards, you can.
Yeah,
I don't want to I want to let Fernando speak as much as possible, but when I spoke, I said in 2017, 2018, when I'd lost all my money. I didn't lose all my money, to be honest. Like I said, I had quite a bit back, and I actually put it all into Ethereum on that day that COVID hit when it was $100, so I did pretty well. But I started working, I'd already started kind of working in blockchain, and it was the beginning of 2018. I probably spent a year talking to every blockchain, and I'm talking to every blockchain. I spoke to Cardano, I spoke to Icon, I think there was a conversation with Tron at some point, and it was just madness, man. Yeah. It was like I'm speaking to these blockchains who had like 2 billion market cap and an office with one person and a dog in. It was like, this is crazy. Like, it was pretty easy to see which ones were going to win and which ones weren't going to win. And then Miles, who is, our co-founder and who is another really, really solid person on the team, he was part of Cosmos Capital, and they actually set up the raise for Algorand originally, right? So I kind of got introduced to David at Borderless probably about 6 months before. I knew the Cosmos guys really well. I actually flew to Australia just to hang out with them for like 3 days at one of their houses. We had some food and we just kind of chatted about what their view on Algorand was, what their view on what I wanted to do was. And then, the team, you look at people like David Garcia and Steve and all those guys, they're just a really, really professional team. And I get to speak to them every day, and they always reply to my emails. They're always there. They were obviously an investor in our project. And I was thinking this the other day, it's like, there's so many Algorand projects now, right? It's like you said, we seem to be seeing one a week. We were pretty much the only project who had started.
Yeah, there wasn't many.
There wasn't any. So it actually probably took me 4 months just to go through all the Borderless process and, get an investment from Borderless. And then they helped me on my seed round with everybody else. But David Garcia is, he's an amazing talent that knows that. He introduced me to Jump Capital and got the investment from Jump Capital. I said to him at the time, I said, look, David, I'm really happy with it's going, but I want more volume, and I want to, I have really big ambitions for Opulous. And he was saying, okay, we'll go and do this, go and speak to Jump, do this. And every time I've needed anything from Algorand, they've been there. Also on the music side, you're talking about a carbon negative, a neutral blockchain, right? So I'm speaking to, some of the biggest artists in the world. Their biggest problem is with their fans. If they put an NFT out, the press are just like, blah, 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 the environment. So one of the first things I can say is, look, Algorand is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the same time, they've been pretty helpful on all the tech side, which is great. And all the support that we have from them on the tech side, and also the community, which is great. So section of Opulous, we've been together with the Algorand community, and we got great support from them. It's amazing.
No, we have. I bring it on myself. I know anyway. There's only like 1%. But he's right. Since the beginning, right? I mean, that's why when I ran Ditto, I still own 100% of Ditto, and I didn't have any VCs. And my experience with VCs is quite small, but having, a community who you're working for every day just pushes you so much harder. And, when I go online and I see, someone comment something about music NFTs and there's 10 people going, oh, we're on Opulous. It's just like, man, right back in the office every time. And, we have had amazing support from the Algorand community. And it keeps us fired up every day.
What are you guys most excited about for 2022, just with Opulous?
Yeah, I think what we're most excited about is getting all our products out this year. So we are doing the more S-NFT sales. We're closing contracts with more artists, which is an amazing thing. We're coming up with the artwork NFT sales on our own platform. We're coming with Opul staking and other DeFi functionalities on the platform as well. And by the end of the year, we're planning to release the S-NFT exchange. So this is a year ahead of loads of development updates and also bringing more sales for our investors. So this is what we're mostly excited about, bringing all the products down and showing the community that we're a solid company and they're making amazing progress despite being the first one doing any kind of S-NFTs, and I'm being exploring this market.
Like I said, Fernando is very much a pillar of, you know, the not really the admin work, but he's the kind of guy. He's the guy that has to sit there and get stuff done, right? So I'm on more of a is it visceral level? Explain it. So for me, it's been about getting the right team in, right? So adding Mark to the team, it took us probably 3 or 4 months to find a good CTO, because as I was saying before, it is so important. When I started Ditto, you know, we were 2 people, right? And that's why my name was CEO Lee Parsons. It was a joke, because me and my brother were both called CEOs. And my mom had a Twitter at one point called CEO Parsons. It was just a joke because we had no staff. And the amount of time I spent because I quickly rushed into getting staff. You're talking years, you know, down the line, and you're like, you can't get rid of someone and they weren't as good as you thought. So it's been really important to me to lining up the best team we have, and obviously speaking to Mark every day now, and with his experience of building on the tech side and there's new ideas coming in. You know, I know where we're going to be in a year's time on the roadmap, but I also don't know, because the way the market goes, there might be something, you know, what running a startup isn't really running, you know, a business. It's about moving as fast as you can, embracing what is coming, and looking to the future 2 to 3 years ahead of where you can be. So I just love every day, man. You know, I get to work with amazing people.
I mean, obviously I'm super excited for, you know, what you guys are building, you know, with Opulous and just the S-NFTs. Obviously I love the idea of passive income. And I think that's also, you know, for investors or for people who are looking at your all's project, that's another thing that, you know, everybody listens to music. And so the ability to invest in an artist's song and then, you know, paid out quarterly rather than maybe daily, but still the ability to earn passive income off of doing stuff that you already are going to do anyway, you know, to me.
And honestly, one of the most exciting things about that is, you remember when you started your label, right? And you're looking in every day to see, even if you're just making a few pence, you're kind of like, we went off on TikTok yesterday, and the Spotify streams went up, and we had a download here. I think for people to be able to see all that data, it's just going to be crazy, man, because you feel like a music boss suddenly. So it's really addictive, man. And that's I guess that's probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most. Everybody else moaning about Spotify payments.
Yeah. One of the questions I had that, you know, I kind of just, I'm guessing this is how it could be even more lucrative once your all's platform launches. I know that, you know, with the Lil Pump, each S-NFT was like $100, you know, per one, but you know, if you're looking at some of these smaller artists, the whole idea would be is if you find, say, an artist who's, you know, up and coming and just starting out, you know, obviously I would assume that S-NFT might be cheaper, but then obviously, you know, you have to wait a year by the you know, securities law before you could even resell that. But say that artist blows up and they do, you know, amass tons and tons of views on whatever streaming service, you know, and then that S-NFT does become so much more valuable. I think that is a piece of the puzzle that, you know, maybe a lot of people don't really see, but I'm super excited about that as it continues to grow and evolve.
Right. Like I've run Ditto, right? You know, Ed Sheeran put a song out, Sam Smith put a song. I've seen all these people when they were like, you know, Ed Sheeran was what, 16? Yeah. And if you had a piece of that, I mean, I've seen some artists that didn't do very well as well. You know, to be honest, you never know. I remember Ed Sheeran was always, you know, pretty amazing, to be honest, but it does happen, man. And I'm excited for everybody else to get that feeling.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is that the other part that I'm really excited about is discovering new artists and then trading this token later, is that we're creating a new kind of trader in the market, because we have like stocks trader, bonds traders, gold traders, but music traders is completely new stuff in the market. So people will be listening to songs every day, trying to find the next gem in the market. Right. And then they'll be investing, they will be supporting these artists, and in the future they will be trading those tokens between each other. So that's the really exciting part, and a completely new market that is about to be created.
And it's a huge market. If you look at the music copyright market, you can't buy copyrights at the moment. That's why even for us, it's been, you know, the music copyrights, they started off around, probably you were paying 7 or 8x originally, and they're going up to like 20 to 30x now to get those big catalogs. And you're talking about billions and billions of dollars every year going into music catalogs. But then for you and I, there's no way of buying them because they're not liquid. So that's why it's so good having them as an NFT, because it makes them tradable. It means you can buy a small part of one. Because legal fees on buying a catalog are probably going to cost you over $100,000 normally. just to get the legals done. So this is putting all that into the hands of, you know, just someone on an app.
And that's the whole thing, is making it easy for everybody to understand, where they can just pull up the Opulous app, see a list of S-NFTs that are for sale, and be able to buy them, and know that once they buy that, they got it in their wallet, they're able to, and then they can start tracking, you know, how much they're going to be earning through royalties. What other cryptos do you guys invest in? So what does your all's crypto portfolios look like outside of just, obviously, I know you guys got.
Can we go through Fernando's 2017 portfolio? I think that might, and see which ones have still got an Opulous.
Yeah, man. I started 17, so invested in Bitcoin and also invested in other altcoins. But then I got so focused in the company that I didn't have the time to do the research anymore, to go for the altcoins and I know in which altcoins to invest. So I actually became a Bitcoin maximalist.
All right, so you're just holding Bitcoin?
I just done the safe bet as possible, so I could really focus my time on a company that which I think is the biggest upside anyway. In my case,
it's really difficult at the moment, isn't it? Because I don't know where the market's going, up or down. I mean, my biggest wins, I put a lot of money into Bitcoin. I lost a lot of it on the altcoins, and then I had quite a lot of money left. I just put it all into ETH when it, like I said, when it was around $100. And I have a lot of Ethereum that I stake. I have a lot of Bitcoin. Obviously, I have a lot of Algorand. It would take probably a lot for me to get into anything else right now, because as Fernando was saying, when you start to build a lot of crypto wealth, you're very risk averse at that point, and it's like it's really nice going up, but it's not nice when it goes down. I was an advisor on XCAD, who, you know, Ollie's probably one of my best friends, and that guy is a genius, so I know that product's going to go well. So you know, I still bought that, even though I had an allocation. Just talking about the rug pulls today, right? And I think in 20, because man, honestly, you should have seen me and Fernando in 2017 high-fiving each other, you know, thinking we just were the best. And then a month later, like, what have we done? Because we didn't really look up. You get caught up in the mania, and you don't look. Okay, who is the team? Who is this person? Are they online? What have they done on LinkedIn? What are they doing? So you just get caught in it. It's the greed, right? It gets because you think, well, I'm going to make money quick. The only thing I've learned about business is making money slow is the only and easiest way to make money, right? Just find some really good projects, make sure the team are working hard every day, leave your money there. Don't worry if it goes up or down, and, you know, come back to it whenever it is, and just, you know, you're always going to make a good profit doing that.
Well, I just wanted to thank you guys for obviously coming on the channel.
And we appreciate it, man. So thank you to everyone in the Algo community for being there, man. Like I said, it keeps us going.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. And until next time, let's get out there and make some money.
Come on. Cheers.